All right, everyone, today is crossbow review day. You guys have been asking a lot about this bow, and mine has just arrived. So what we're gonna do today is a full review on the Killer Instinct Logix. Let's go. All right, everybody, before we start shooting, I just want to take a minute, go over specs and features, and kind of just show you around the bow and everything that the Logix has to offer. All right, so the Killer Instinct Logix is capable of speeds up to 435 feet per second. That is thanks to a 210-pound draw weight and 15-inch power stroke. The overall weight of the bow listed on KI's website is 7.9 pounds, but we're going to go ahead and weigh this in kind of its ready-to-hunt state and see what the actual weight is that you guys can expect when you're using it out in the field. Overall length of the bow is adjustable thanks to an adjustable buttstock. In its shortest length, it's 32.25 inches, and in its longest length, it's 33.75 inches. The bow features a 3.5-pound trigger pull. Axle to axle, when the bow is uncocked, you're looking at 10.75 inches, and when cocked, an ultra narrow 6.75 inches. Like most modern crossbows, the Logix has an ambidextrous anti-dry fire safety, and the optics that come with the Logix is the Lumix 4x32 IRE, which has an illuminated reticle. You can light up either red or blue. If we take the bow off the tripod, on the fore end, you guys are going to see a Picatinny rail system, so you can move this fore end grip wherever it is that is most comfortable for you, or if you want to switch the grip out, anything that is designed for a Picatinny rail will work on this. But this fore end grip also works really nice as a carry handle, and as you guys can see, is very easy to mount in a bog style tripod. Bow is also going to come with an offset quiver mount and a quiver, which is very easy to attach and detach with the quick detach system. So in this down position with this little lever, the quiver is locked. If we flip it up, slide it down, see if I can do this one-handed, quiver comes off. Bow also comes with 3 20-inch Killer Instinct Hyper V arrows, which feature KI's new V-Track knock. All right, now let's talk about the heart and soul of the Logix, and that is Killer Instinct's patented X-Cam system. So the X-Cam, you guys, is a super smooth cam system. Very easy to cock, offering over 50% let off, but it's also extremely low sound and extremely low vibration when you're shooting it, offering just a great user experience and just ultra smooth feel all around with the bow. So cocking this bow, even with a 210-pound draw weight, is a piece of cake. So the other heart and soul piece of the Logix, and unique to the Logix for 2025, is Killer Instinct's new let down trigger box, featuring a decocking lever, which gives you the ability to decock this crossbow without having to shoot an arrow. And it's very easy to do with the cocking rope or the cocking sled, and that's what I'm going to show you guys here. So what I like to do is I like to get the sled positioned right under the brush and just let the brush hold it like that. And I usually do it by taking up most of the slack with my left hand, and then once it's positioned under the brush, you can get the rest of the slack so the rope's even. Now with the sled held with the brush, flip the cocking lever forward, and all you're going to do is you're going to pull back until you hear a click, and then simply let the bow down. It's that easy. Doesn't try to rip the sled out of your hands or anything like that. It's very simple, very smooth, very easy to do. You can decock this bow like I'm doing with this rope cocking sled, or you can decock the bow with the external DSC crank, which this bow is compatible with. Or if you get the RDC version of the Logix that has a built-in crank system right here, you can also decock the bow with that crank system. Let me show you guys another view from the side. So first, we'll cock the crossbow. I'll take the sled off so I can show you guys again how I like to get the sled in there. So again, let's get the sled positioned under the brush. I'm going to take up slack with my left hand because I'm right-handed, and I'm going to get the sled situated right there under the brush where the brush is holding the sled. I'm going to take up the rest of the slack and even it out with my right hand. Now I'm going to flip that lever forward, pull back until I hear a click, and simply let the bow down. So everything that you've seen so far in this video, with the exception of my Bog Death Grip tripod, the Logix is going to come with. That includes a rope cocking sled. It's also going to come with a stick of bowstring wax and rail lube. And just like all of Killer Instinct's crossbows, the Logix is backed by KI's limited lifetime warranty. And if you're looking for insurance and extra protection for your crossbow, check out Killer Instinct's Bow Shield as well. Check it out, guys. I bought this just for you to get some more realistic, ready-to-hunt weights for these bows. So we're going to start with the Logix in its ready-to-hunt state without the quiver, and then we'll put the quiver on. So no quiver, but fully assembled with optics and everything. You're looking at 9.39 pounds. And if we add the quiver with 3 Killer Instinct Hyper arrows, we're looking at 9.83 pounds. All right, guys, here's the setup to start getting this thing sighted in, and we're going to start at 20 yards. I've also got the chronograph out, so we're going to take some speed measurements as we're doing the sight-in process. Just note, remember, guys, speeds up to 435 feet per second for the Logix. That is tested with the minimum arrow weight of 370 grains in a 20-inch arrow. What comes with the Logix are KI's Hyper arrows. These are 390 grains, which includes the 100 grain field point that's provided. And I weighed this on my little scale over there. This one came in right at 392. And before I started shooting, or before we get started here, and before you guys get started, make sure to go through your bow and wax your bowstrings, wax your cables, put some rail lube on, and make sure to do that as stated in the KI instruction manual. I got all the stuff that Steve White talked about in our podcast the other week, and I've got the Logix all ready to go. So let's start sighting in, and again, we're going to start at 20 yards. All right, a little high, a little left. We'll make that adjustment. And I guess just so you guys know, I'm starting with the top dot of the Lumix IRE reticle for the 20 yard. And we'll kind of see, we're gonna have to play with it a little bit as far as what we want to sight things in at with this being a fixed reticle. But let's see if my adjustments can get us on at 20. All right, so I feel good at 20. Being a little high, I'm fine with, because I want to try to shoot the exact same aiming point that we did at 20 yards. The very first one, the top aiming point in the reticle, I want to shoot that at 30 yards too, because most of the time, you guys, crossbows that are this fast, you can shoot 0 to 30 yards pretty easily without a whole lot of, hold over, hold under. It might not be exact, but it's going to be really, really close with just how fast these shoot. We'll do the chronograph one more time on this 30-yard shot. That way we get 3 chrono runs. And then I'm going to probably rearrange my setup a little bit just so it's a little more comfortable for me to take some of the longer range shots. I guess just so you guys know, I haven't done anything with these arrows. These are just straight up out of the box. I haven't done any tuning, playing around with weight or anything like that. It's just straight from KI, and we're going to shoot the exact same arrow again here at 30 yards. All right, so I was a little low and a little right on that shot, but you guys, if I'm looking through the reticle, and I know I shot that exact same dot, that very first dot again at 30 yards, when I look through the reticle, my second dot, even though it's pretty darn close to the first one, is very close to my point of impact. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shoot another arrow. This is the second arrow. The first one's still in there. And we are going to see if that second dot is a little better. And what I want you guys to focus on this shot, and I'm going to talk through it as we execute it here, is the trigger on this bow. So I want you guys to focus on, I'm really going to squeeze it off and just watch how the trigger is on this bow. It's a really good trigger, you guys. All of these KI X-Cam bows have had great triggers the past, 2-3 years. This bow is no exception. And as I shoot, we'll kind of just talk through it. All right, here we go. This is our second shot at 30 yards. And I'm going to shoot the second dot. So it looks like I need to move things over a little bit to the left. We're a little right on both shots. So the bottom arrow was the top dot again at 30. That was just with our initial 20-yard sight in. And this arrow is the second dot at 30. So we're kind of in between them. So what I'm going to try is I'm going to make a left-right adjustment. And I am going to probably bring, because this one it's not that far off. I'm probably going to bring the reticle up a little bit and try to get that first one sighted in 0 to 30. And then we'll see how well the second one does at 40. All right, here's 30 yards. Again, after making an adjustment, we're going to be back to shooting the top dot in the reticle. First shot at 40 yards using the second dot in the reticle. All right, guys, there we go. Second dot in the reticle, dead on at 40. So this seems to be a pretty good setup for the Logix IRE to have that first one be your 0 to 30 and the second aiming point be your 40 yard. So now let's back up to 50. Shot 1, 50 yards. I know I've been shooting a lot off of a tripod, you guys, for this video, but I just want to comment real quick on kind of the balance and feel of the Logix. Now, I've got the stock, at least at this moment, all the way pushed in, so this is in its shortest configuration. And guys, honestly, I mean, the bow is pretty darn balanced for, a non-bullpup style, kind of a more traditional style, rail grip position as well as front end. It is maybe a touch front heavy, but that touch is not uncomfortable at all. I was kind of trying to mess around and kind of trying to find the balance point of the bow. Like if I hold my finger, it's very close to right now where the back end of the forend grip is located. Because if I put my finger here, it wants to go forward. And a lot of times when I put my finger right in front of that, it wants to tip backwards. So if you guys are trying to kind of understand at least a balance point of the bow, it's pretty much right there. So just a few inches in front of your pistol grip and trigger. And it's basically the same feel when you extend, at least to me, when you extend that buttstock. I mean, it's pretty darn balanced. Nothing as far as the balance goes bothers me at all. So it's got a real good feel to it. All right, you guys, next up, we're going to shoot a 50-yard 3-shot group. 50 is probably all the farther we're going to shoot today. I don't know if you guys have been able to tell, but it's pretty breezy out here this afternoon. I wanted to make a couple notes, though, and point out a couple things. After having shot this, 6-7 times here, and I did have some experience with the Logix when I was at ATA, but just a few things I want to note down for you guys. First off, adjustable buttstock, really nice. And I'm going to show you guys, I've got this set so it adjusts kind of hard. And when it adjusts, though, with how I have it set up, there is zero wiggle, zero noise, zero anything when you've got it locked in a position. Now, if you want it to adjust easier, there's 2 screws right here. You can simply back those screws out and you're going to be able to adjust this a little bit easier than what I have it at. But you can tune how you want this buttstock to feel, whether you want it to slide nice and free, maybe have a little bit more wiggle when it's set in a position, or if you've got a position you really like or want that adjustment to be kind of firm, you can adjust the feel of it with these 2 fasteners. Another thing related to the buttstock is the DSC crank location is on the portion of the stock that doesn't move, which is great because on previous versions, when you had the adjustable AR style buffer tube stock, that DSC crank location was on the portion of the stock that moved. And what you needed to make sure you did is have the stock all the way down and bottomed out when you were using the DSC crank. Because if you had it adjusted, if you had it slid out, and then you put the crank on and you were using it, you're effectively putting all the load from you cocking it with the crank on the adjustment pin and not through like the body of that buffer tube. With this, with the Logix adjustable stock, you don't have to worry about it. It is on the fixed solid portion, so you can always leave your adjustable portion of the buttstock wherever you want it and just simply put your crank on and not have to worry about it. Trigger, you guys. I mean, I expected the trigger to be really good, having shot, you know, the Diesel X, the Vital X, the Vital X 430. This trigger, I think, is even a little bit better. And those triggers were really, really good, especially for bows coming in at that price point. But man, this trigger, you guys, this one is even a little bit more crisp, and it breaks really clean. It's got very, very little movement before it breaks, and it's just a really easy trigger to get comfortable with and be very accurate with. And obviously, like all of the X-Cam bows, this one, once again, just super smooth, super quiet. The feel of it overall is phenomenal when shooting it. So let's see how we do with a 3-shot group out to 50. Man, you guys, I don't know what more you could possibly want from a crossbow in this price range, straight up out of the box. I didn't do anything to the arrows. I'm using the optics that it came with. I mean, literally just straight up out of the box to shoot this group at 50 yards. I mean, check that out. Stacking them in there in something that's, you know, a little bit bigger than a golf ball. It's probably like a racquetball size. That last one just a touch high, but man, they're all lined right up. I mean, that's phenomenal, even with it being a little bit breezy out here today. The Logix is a shooter. All right, I moved the target back to 20 yards, so let's check and see where our 20 is after setting up the Lumix IRE for first dot being 30, second dot being 40, third dot being 50. Let's see where we're at with 20. And while we're doing that, I'm going to see if I can get some cool slow motion footage of the bow itself as we're launching this arrow. All right, guys, here you go. Here's the 20 yard. So it's maybe an inch high at 20. So not bad at all. I think that's definitely the way to set this reticle up. All right, you guys, just to recap as far as how we set up the Lumix 4x32 IRE, top dot in the reticle, basically an inch high-ish at 20 yards is going to put you dead on at 30. And then the second dot in the reticle with that sight in is going to be right on at 40. And the third dot is going to be right on at 50. A couple other things I wanted to mention real quick. This is a fully aluminum CNC machined rail, and this has the machined aluminum CNC X cams. I also really like the tack finish on this, you guys. This is Killer Instinct's new tack finish, the camo that's on the rail and the limbs. just looks sharp. It's a really sharp bow, and man, is it a shooter. I mean, that is an awesome 50-yard group with stock out of the box arrows, no tweaking, no tuning, no anything. Just pull it out, sight it in, and shoot it. To shoot that at 50 yards, it's phenomenal. This bow is going to be a rock star this year. I am really impressed with it, you guys. I hope you guys are too. And as far as price point goes on the Logix, Killer Instinct's website has the bows listed with the MSRP price of $650. And if you go down below in the description, I've got a promo code for you that you can use on the KI website to knock that down a little bit. Most retail outlets right now, I'm seeing this bow listed at $600. But if you shop around and look a little bit, you can maybe find this bow. I just saw Wyvern Creations has some right now. I don't know if this is a sale or not, but has this model, the non-RDC model, listed for $500, which is an absolute steal. This bow is awesome, you guys. I'm very impressed with it. I hope you guys are too. I've got links down below, not only to that KI website promo code, but also links to the Logix for more information, or if you want to pick one up. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below as well. But thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate you watching. And hey, if you're looking for some more awesome crossbow content, go ahead and check out this video right here. Thanks for watching, you guys. Be safe out there. God bless. And remember, be a sportsman, make a sportsman.